What is good, YouTube world? It's Jay Coffee Talk back with another one, man. And today I wanted to make a video and talk to you guys about one of the dopest shows that is currently airing on TV right now that you guys should definitely be watching. I've made a few other videos on different TV shows that are on, and you guys make sure to hit the comments and let me know your favorite shows that you watch or you'd like to, watch a video about. Don't be shy. Get up in them comments, but Jay Coffee Talk likes to get his binge watch on. I feel like nowadays with the way we watch TV being different with all the streaming platforms out there, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and real quick sidebar, what happened with Netflix? Like, I thought everyone was supposed to be boycotting Netflix and Netflix was supposed to go under. You guys hit the comments and let me know, do you still mess with Netflix? What was your thought about that whole situation? Let's talk about it. But anyways, me and wifey like to spend a lot of time binge watching shows, and I feel like a lot of couples out there do that as well. Like, at the end of the day, after a hard day's work, binge watch a few episodes of something together, or go back, watch an old show from beginning to end. Or on the weekend, you got a day off, like you wake up, hey, grab the remote, let's get to binge watching, you know what I mean? But anyways, this show that I'm talking about, Your Honor, starring Bryan Cranston, is just outstanding crime drama. I guess there's elements of political stuff in it as far as like local politics in New Orleans. And in a sense, it's almost kind of like a family drama too, as it also has to deal with families grieving with loss. It almost kind of reminds me in a way of how The Wire used to hit on different levels. It would show you Baltimore, like city politics, what's going on in the news, what's going on in the police department, what's going on the streets. In season 2, what's going on with the longshoremen on the docks, you know what I mean? Like, it just hits on a lot of different angles, and that's what this Your Honor show reminds me of. Now, I just mentioned The Wire, which is one of the most popular crime dramas of all time, but this show, Your Honor, is starring Bryan Cranston, which we know was in another epic, highly rated, one of the most popular crime dramas of all time, Breaking Bad. Now, a lot of times when it comes to actors, a lot of people will say, well, this actor ain't that good. Or, you look at a show and you say whoever was the main character, like if someone else was in there, could they have portrayed that role? Could they have really lived as that character? And when it comes to Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, I think, really, really played that role well, in a sense, like he made that show. You know what I mean? We really saw the transformation from Walt White, the high school teacher, to Heisenberg, you know what I mean? The meth trafficker, meth manufacturer, And what I'm trying to say is, dude is just a hell of an actor. A lot of times people feel a lot of actors are overrated, but I really feel like Bryan Cranston is just amazing. There's another sidebar, another great show, movie that's out there starring Bryan Cranston. Hit the comments, guys, and let me know if you saw it. It's starring him and Kevin Hart, where he's a rich paraplegic and Kevin Hart becomes his like caretaker. I forget the name of it, but it's a great movie. But anyways, getting back to the show, you may have guessed it from the title. Bryan Cranston plays a judge. And real quick, there'll be some like semi-spoilers in this, but I won't ruin it for anyone. You know what I mean? And anyone who hits the comments, just keep in mind with your comments, not to go too far into anything because, for anyone who has not seen the show. But anyways, he's a judge in New Orleans, which is highly, highly corrupt. The mob seems to run the town in New Orleans, but it's not the Italian mafia. It's some Celtic mobsters, not from Ireland. I believe they're from Scotland. I can't remember, but anyways, he the guy that heads up this organized crime faction owns a lot of stuff, restaurants, seafood restaurants downtown, and he seems to control the streets in New Orleans as well, and has a lot of police in his pocket on his payroll. Now, the judge is a pretty much straight up dude. He's not really corrupt. He has some friends or whatever in the local politics game that may kind of bend the rules or whatever, and he kind of looks the other way, but he's not out here really, being a corrupt slime ball, grease ball. For the most part, he minds his business and does what he can do to enforce justice. And he seems to have a good heart as well. You know what I mean? Like, he's the kind of judge that the DA might be saying, send this guy away for 5 years. And he'll say, you know what? I'm going to give this man probation. You know what I mean? Now, anyways, him and his son, as I said, the show happens to deal with family matters in a sense. You know what I mean? As families are grieving, him and his son are approaching the 1 year anniversary of the death of the mother and wife. You know what I mean? She was murdered. And it's just the father and son trying to deal with this all as the son is approaching where he's going to graduate high school and has plans to go away to college in New York. Now, the son gets into a car accident, which is just a flat out accident, and no one's around. And the young man that he hit ends up dying. He tries to revive him or do what he can. He calls 911, but he dies. And he ends up originally wanting to do the right thing, but he panics. He leaves, he goes home. And his dad comes home and sees what he's done. Now, the father says, you know what? As I stated, he seems like a pretty straight arrow. Bryan Cranston's character, the judge, says, we got to go turn you in. We're going to do this the right way. And the son agrees. But when they get to the police station, they put two and two together and see the mobster guy and his wife, who run New Orleans, at the police station crying and grieving. And he quickly does the mental math in his head and realizes that it is their son who was killed. Bryan Cranston's character, the judge, quickly changes his mind and was like, we can't do this. This guy, has a lot of crooked cops on his side. We're going to end up dead. This is bad. And he goes home and decides to cover up the crime. Now, when doing this, putting together the cover up, the accident actually happened in the deceased wife's car. So, the judge reaches out to someone he knows who's kind of has some, ties to the street, I guess, in a sense, and reaches out and they decide to have the car stolen and they're going to take it to the junkyard and have it, scrapped, and it's all going to go away. But it ends up, the job ends up being dispersed out to the streets, like I said, to a kid who's just, from the hood, who's a good kid, but, is coming up, growing up and kind of halfway in the streets, halfway not in the streets. You know what I mean? Like, he's truly a good kid, but he doesn't really know what he wants to do in life. And he ends up in the worst possible position he could in his life, as when he's trying to do this job to take the car to get destroyed, he ends up pulled over for a stolen car, goes to jail. And when the car's in the impound, they find traces of that there was an accident, blood, all kinds of stuff. And the crime ends up pinned on this dude from the hood. And this is where things end up going to a next level. Things get real crazy. Now, real quick, this show, hit the comments, anyone out there who's currently watching this show. It's a really great show. It has you on the edge of your seat. Like I said, I don't want to give too much up. But something that shocked me is that this show is a limited series, meaning that I believe there is only going to be one season. So you guys want to get out there and start binge watching this show. It's truly very suspenseful. And, like I said, for fans of crime dramas, what I really like when there's a crime drama is when it kind of is true and genuine to the kind of things that really happen in our society in real life. And I always talk on my channel when I'm talking about different topics where the average person might not see what's really going on or the bigger picture. I always, point out corruption, as corruption runs rampant in the world and in American society, of course, because of the almighty dollar. Money always trumps everything, and people kind of let their morals go out the window. So this show kind of has an element of reality to me. You know what I mean? When crime stories and things like that hit national news, you always want to talk to someone from the local area area who really knows the politics of that area and what's really going on. You know, like in this show, this young man who's from the hood, who gets this horrible crime pinned on him, in reality is one of the most innocent people in this whole show. You know what I mean? But when it hits the news, he looks like some monster who did a hit and run and left a young man to die. But he's really the most innocent of all. As I said, he's just a kid growing up who really doesn't have a lot of direction in life, doesn't know exactly what he wants to do. And it all kinds of ends up pinned on him. And local people from his neighborhood are telling him, just keep your mouth shut and hold it down, you know, because they're kind of tied into this, because they took the job in the cover up to have the car stolen, and it has this organized crime guy's kid ended up getting killed in the mix. And as I stated, he pretty much runs the city as, you know, he's very successful, very rich, owns a lot of property, and has a lot of cops on his payroll. I don't know, you know what I mean? It's just a very interesting story, and very real in my opinion. Like I said, I like shows to be realistic. We don't want no fairy tale BS, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to go too far into the story, but, you know, because I don't want to give away any spoilers, really. But like I said, I'm not going to ruin it for y'all, but I'll leave it at this. I'll hit you with one little more nugget of information before I close the video out. The guy from the organized crime has a son who's in prison, who's trying to follow in the father's footsteps and be a gangster, but take it further and be, you know, heavy in the streets. Well, he's locked up and ends up getting to come back from like state prison to the local county jail, where the kid who's, you know, innocent but being accused of killing the guy's brother is, and he wants revenge. But so much more stuff happens, so much more stuff goes on. I don't want to give too much up. I want to see how this video does. I want everyone to join the discussion. Let me know if you're watching the show. Let me know if you'd like me to do more videos on this and talk on this video and this topic a little more, because we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg on this. You know what I mean? But if you like crime dramas, you gotta watch this show, you know? So hit the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the show. Let me know if you like these kind of videos talking about different TV series and movies and things like that are out. If you guys want to talk about it. It's also very interesting too, because as we know, in our American society, there is a lot of division. You know, there's a lot of racial tensions and stuff like that. And in this show, there's a lot of racial tensions in New Orleans going on. And it ends up kind of bleeding over into society, as, you know what I mean? So much more happens in this show, but it becomes kind of like a racial situation in a sense. And it's just kind of wild, because when you see the show, when you really see what's going on, it's really a cover up, and it gets kind of political, and then it turns into all this different drama. You know what I mean? And I don't know, guys, like, just hit the comments. Let me know if you like this show, if you watched it. Like I said, I'm going to end the video. This is one of the best TV series on right now that you should be watching. Are you watching? Let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We cover all different topics here: music, news, sports, current events. This is J Coffee Talk. I'm very interactive in the comment thread as well, so let's talk. I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'm out of here. Peace.